everybody, and welcome back to the Coca-Cola Coliseum for some more Toronto Marlies hockey action. The Marlies taking on the Syracuse Crunch for the second of 4 times on the year. They took the first one back in Syracuse, 1-0. Dennis Hildeby recording a 45-save shutout as the Crunch dominated but could not come away with the victory. The Marlies scored a late goal, and Oktayamov gets the pipes tonight. Morella stop, rebound! Oktayamov early makes a big save for Toronto. Nylander sent into the Crunch zone, picked up by Grew. Grew to the net, Bennett in front, that just tipped wide. Here's Gonsalves, comes out to center, Benning back across for Lettieri. Lettieri inside, shooting it, he's stopped. Picked up by the Marlies, it's Grew. Here's Mermis letting it fly, bouncer in the paint, picked up. Crunch have it, and here comes Morella. Down the right side, in over the Toronto line, going to the net with the puck. And the Marlies turned it over to Myers. Gonsalves, here's Dumont. Blocked, rebound, and Oktayamov made the stop. Here's Grew for Toronto, shots 3-3 early. Grew steps in, Grew waits. Didn't take, but it's in! A weird ricochet! And it's gonna be Grew's goal! 1-0 Toronto. A weird ricochet in the slot gives Toronto the early 1-0 lead. Bo Grew will get credit for the goal. Here comes Forte, centers it, Element, stopped by Oktayamov. Bouncer in the paint, another look, he's stopped again. Down low, Crunch pressing. Down 1 now. Here's another chance, and Oktayamov has that. Villeneuve for Logan Shaw, up the right side, he'll send it in to the Syracuse zone. Picked up here, Hames chasing it down, it's Stevens to it first. Here comes Myers. Off ahead, here comes Element now. He'll step by to the net. That deflects in behind. Tanev from behind out front. That's fanned on. And Hames for Toronto turned it up ice with Rafai. Marshall Rafai on his backhand, feeding it to the net. Easy save made by Oldenfeld. And here's Element the other way for Syracuse. Has a man open, but he'll take the shot, and it goes wide. Back down the ice, Cedric Pare is after it. Here's Pare after Forte, a good board battle, but Forte won it and gets that out for the Crunch. Rafai to Pizzetta, giving that away, but the Marlies are in. It's Torberg. Torberg to the front. He tried to center that. Given away. Pare has it. Pare in front. That one was stopped, and now Allard and the Crunch go the other way. Here comes Allard. Breakaway. He's in. He scores. Allard, too much time and too much space. He ties the game for Syracuse. It's 1-1. It's Allard's first goal this season as the Toronto Marlies get caught. Yep, and a breakaway on the turnover. Oktayamov gets a piece, but not all of it. And this game's tied. So 1-1 with 5:36 remaining here in the first. Here's Carlisle. Big hit, gave that away, Kripke. Here comes Edmonds. Stepping in, he'll shoot. Stopped by Oktayamov. And behind the net, he'll look back to Carlisle. Firing that, it's blocked. Torberg. Now the Crunch with it again. It's Day to Kepke, and he just sent that wide. Here's Carlisle in front. They score! What a one-time setup. And it's Day who gives the Crunch a late 2-1 lead here in the first. The Marlies get caught on their end again, and Sean Day just left right in the paint. He's going to rip it by the desperate Oktayamov trying to get back in position. He can't. 2-1 Crunch. Draw 1. Here's Benning for Nylander. Sends it back into the Syracuse zone. Here comes Lettieri to the net. He'll shoot. Save made. Grew was after it. Here's Morella. Crunch the other way. It's Crozier. He's taken down. Power play Syracuse. So the Crunch leading 2-1 late here in the first, and now a power play to try to extend on that. Here's the faceoff to the left side of the goal. Taking back Marlies, turning that over. It's picked up by Toronto, and they're going to try shorthanded, but they gave it away. Gonsalves, Stevens is stopped by Oktayamov. Crunch have it again, fed in front, and Oktayamov had to be sharp there. He was. Johnstone to Pare. Here come the Marlies shorthanded. Cedric Pare to the net, tried to forehand it. and bumped into the goalie, but nothing comes from that. Here's Marella entering the final minute of play here in the first. Here's Noah Chadwick for the Marlies. Chadwick taken down. Johnstone trying to jump into the rush. He got the only goal in the last meeting between these two clubs. Here's a turnover to Chadwick again, and the Marlies take off with it. Up the left side, the pass looking for Johnstone. Man in front! Swing and a miss by Grew. 7 seconds to go in the period. No one was there for Toronto, and limping off is one of the Marlies with 1 second to go in the period. Time expires. Crunch. We're trailing 1-0, but they get 2 in a row to take the lead going into the second intermission. The first intermission. It is 2-1 Syracuse after 1. Shots a goal in that first period. 10 for the Crunch, 6 for the Marlies. The hits were 8-3 Syracuse. Faceoffs 4-1. And the power play still for 9 seconds for Syracuse to start the second. 2-1 after 1. Welcome into period 2 tonight from Coca-Cola Coliseum. The Marlies find themselves down 2-1. After only 1 goal came in that last game, there's already been 3 scored here tonight. Here's Cedric Paré stepping in. Power play done. Paré trying to feed it over. Gave that away. Lettieri steps into the rush. He'll shoot. That was kicked out. Johnstone trying to keep it in. Pinned along the boards by Gonsalves, but taken back by the Marlies. Benning steps in, shoots. He stopped. Benning from behind. Fed it in front that just missed Paré. Pressure coming, and now a penalty going to Toronto again. Dumont. The Marlies have controlled this period so far, but they're going to find themselves in the box once again. Syracuse 0 for 1 on the night. Cedric Paré heads off for interference. Face off to the left side of the Marlie net. One back by the Crunch, and they do grab control. Here's the pass to Day. Centers Forte. He's stopped by Oktayamov. Carlisle to Day. Forte letting it fly. That was blocked, and the Marlies take off with it. Here goes Alex Nylander. He has Logan Shaw short-handed. Fed it in front, but the shot didn't get through. Element taken down, and Toronto is going to have a 5-on-3 kill now. Cedric Paré went to the box already. Here's the face-off. Taken, one back by the Crunch. 5-on-3 here. Rolled in front of the Marlie net, but trying to get control of it. Here's Gonsalves to Stevens. Blocked. Roller in front of the net. It's Benning. He finds Grew. Has the only Toronto goal tonight. Here he comes short-handed. Grew shooting. Saved by Alnefelt. Covers on that for Syracuse. Just about 5 gone in the middle period. All goals back in the first. Toronto struck first, but the Crunch have since taken the lead. Here's the face-off. One back picked up by Myers. He'll send it up for Marella. Now ahead for Gonsalves, stepping in on the 5-on-3. Shooting it was taken away by the Marlies, but kept in. Pass off to Marella, blocked by Mermis, and he'll send it out and down for Toronto. Chasing it back with Cedric Paré. He's out of the penalty box now. Myers. Gonsalves. Marlies trying to grab that again. Here's Marella as Grew ran into him. Gonsalves. Here's Dumont in over the Toronto line to the net. He's stopped by Oktayamov. Bouncer in the paint. Marella stopped by Oktayamov. And now Johnstone out of the box. And now a penalty going to Syracuse. The Marlies will see their first power play of the night. Slashing Marella will head off. So Syracuse 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. The Marlies will see their first. Down by a goal just about halfway in this one. Face-off right side of the Syracuse net. Marlies win the face-off and grab control. Nylander fed it in front. They score! Vinny Lettieri! Power play goal! Tie game! 2-2. What a setup, and that did not take long at all. Good passing in tight, a good finish as Alnefelt out of place. Just above the pad, underneath the mitt. And the Toronto Marlies have tied it 2-2 with a power play goal. So Vinny Lettieri has been one of the best for Toronto this year. Has them even just about midway through the second period. Draw one picked up by the Crunch. Myers sent that up on the wing. Forte to Stevens. Taken back by the Crunch again. It's Robert. In over the line comes Forte, trying to go to the net and get a shot off. There it is, and it's kicked out by Oktayamov. Pass finds Mermis. Here's Dakota Mermis stepping in. He'll drop for some help. It was turned over to Stevens. Marlies tried to keep it in. They couldn't. An Element, it's right back out. Grew, a good job. He'll bring it in. Here's Bo Grew. Shoots! He's stopped by Olnefelt. Letary now again. Easy save made as there's no traffic in front. A face-off in the Syracuse zone. We're halfway. 2-2 from Coca-Cola Coliseum. Here's the face-off to the left side of the net. Marlies don't win it back. Stevens to Element. Here he comes up the right side for Syracuse. Steps in and shoots. He's stopped by Oktayamov. And now Mermis for Toronto. Quillen to Shaw. Shaw looking ahead to Quillen. He turned it over to Myers. Myers still with it in the Syracuse zone. Now gets that out to center to Element. Robert taken down and the Marlies take off with it. Quillen back to Logan Shaw. Scores! The captain! Logan Shaw, what a pass, what a finish. Marlies back on top, 3-2. So Logan Shaw gets the goal. It's his fourth of the season, and Toronto has taken the lead 3-2 with 6:28 remaining in the second period. Draw one, picked up, Marlies with it. Logan Shaw sending it back in the Syracuse zone. Around the boards, it's Quillen. Quillen shoots! Save made by Olnefelt. Bouncer back to Rafai. Here's Marshall Rafai stepping in, didn't take the shot, then he tried. It was fanned on in front of the goal, and Dumont gets that out for Syracuse. Villeneuve back ahead to Rafai. They're inside again. Rafai, a backhand right to the chest of Olnefelt. A face-off in the Syracuse zone. Under 4 to go in the middle period. Toronto 3, Syracuse 2. From Coca-Cola Coliseum, both these teams 4-1 on the season. Here's the face-off. Right side taken back by the Marlies. Villeneuve. Down low, he fed that to Torberg. Gets the pass back. Torberg in front. He was taken down, and the Marlies are going back to the power play. They're 1 for 1 in the game. Philip Myers heads off. 2 minutes for tripping. So the face-off to the right side of the net. Marlies back to the power play. Succeeded on their first. Can they do it again? All it took was one shot last time. Here's Hames shooting it. Blocker save. It's loose in the paint, and a good job by the Crunch finding it and getting it the length down the ice. Quillen back in for Letary. Marlies again on the power play. What a pass! And it just slid wide. Logan Shaw goes behind the net. Letary in front. Shaw spins and shoots. That's blocked, and Gonsalves clears. Hames back to get it. A minute gone on the power play. Logan Shaw sends in. Toronto chases it down. It's Letary in front. Tipped wide by Nylander. Has it again. That one, they whack away Letary. It won't fall. And Walcott clears it for Syracuse. Quillen back to get it. 30 seconds left on the Marley power play. It's looked sharp tonight. Here's Hames. Back for Quillen. 15 seconds left to go on it. Pass trying to find Shaw. That's given away, and the Crunch do kill it off. A much-needed penalty kill to keep this a one-goal game. Allard to Krepke. Here he comes. Breakaway. It's Edmonds. Stopped by Oktayamov. Here's Nylander. 7 seconds to go in the period. He's taken down by a heavy hit. And that'll end the second here tonight from Coca-Cola. The Marlies with a 2-goal period to take a 3-2 lead into the third tonight against the Syracuse Crunch. Shots to goal in the game are 18-16 Toronto. They lead it 3-2 after 2. The hits are 12-10 Syracuse. Faceoffs 9-6 Crunch. 0 for 3 on the power play. Toronto 1 for 2. 3-2 Toronto. We go to the third. Welcome into the third period tonight from Coca-Cola Coliseum. The Toronto Marlies and the Syracuse Crunch. These rivals go way back. Face-off taken and won by Stevens. Myers gets the feed. Here come the Crunch. Gonsalves is stopped by Oktayama. Picks it up again, Gonsalves. Myers. Stevens looks, shoots, fired that wide. Rebound in front, and Oktayama makes a big stop on that. A turnover. Dumont, he stopped. Another rebound. Crunch pressing early here in the third, down by a goal. Myers poked out by Grew. He read that well. Here's Stevens being chased by Bo Grew. Grew did take it away, but Myers regains it for the Crunch. Here comes Dumont, 2-on-1, Benning trying to get back. The shot stopped, and Okhtayamov covers on that for Toronto. So the face-off will come to the left side of the Marley net. Marlies with a 3-2 edge here in the third period against Syracuse. Draw taken, one back by the Crunch. It's Morella to the net, and he was stopped. Bouncer in the paint, Benning trying to get that out. He'll send that ahead to Hames. Here's Luke Hames, step to the net, shoots. Blocker stop Allenfeld. Mermis, Shaw, one-timer Benning. That was blocked on the way of the goal. Mermis back to Benning. He'll try again. It's stopped. And Hames looking for the loose change. In behind the net, Quillen kicks it back to Logan Shaw. Shaw sent that in front. No one was there but Syracuse, and they get it out. Gonsalves will just get it back in the Toronto end and right back out again. Benning sends it into the Syracuse zone. Around the boards, it gets by everyone and back out to center. Gleason ahead. Here comes Forte. Step to the net. He's stopped by Okhtayamov. He's been lights out since giving up the 2 in the first. Sent in around the boards. That gets by everyone and back out again. Villeneuve. Back in for Hames. Here's Rafai. He'll send in. Marlies chase it down. Day. Cut off by Jacob Quillen. In behind the net is Carlisle. He'll find Forte. And the Crunch got it ahead. Here's Element. Breakaway. Syracuse scores! They're going to wave it off, though. There was some contact on Okhtayamov. Was it enough to knock it into the net? There was definitely contact there. I see this one coming back easily. So Okhtayamov makes the stop, and then you can see the contact on the pad, which pushes him into the net, and it is no goal immediately. 8:05 to go in the third. The Crunch thought they tied it, but they did not. Interference on the play. No goal. Here's Carlisle ahead. Gave that away to Michael Pizzetta. Pizzetta read the play. Shoots! Gloved by Allenfeld. And he'll cover for Syracuse as we're down to 7 minutes to play. Toronto 3, Syracuse 2. Face off to the left side of the net. Both these teams 4-1 on the season. Draw one. Here's Day. Sent ahead to Element. Here comes Element. Got by Villeneuve. Pass finds Forte. He has a step to the goal. He's stopped by Okhtayamov, and another penalty going to Syracuse. Toronto's power play on the afternoon. 1 for 2. Syracuse 0 for 3. This will be Toronto's third. And that evens up the power play count here late in the third period. So here's the face-off right side. Marlies don't win this one. Walcott to Crozier, and he'll get it out. Mermis tried to knock it down. It's over his head and all the way back down. Marlies in their end, pick it up, and now up on the board side for Mermis. In over the line, he'll look, centers for Shaw. Gave that away to Crozier and back out. Here's Krepke, short-handed. He'll just chip back into the Toronto zone. Now it's the Marlies' Mermis. Sent for Shaw, now ahead for Benning. Matt Benning stepping into the rush. Here's Benning, shooting it. He stopped. It got away from Letary, and it is cleared. Just kept in by Benning. Tip to the net. Oh, what a save by Allenfeld. Logan Shaw had a wide open net, and Allenfeld got the glove over to keep it out. Wow. Insane save and a game saver for the Syracuse Crunch to keep it 3-2 late. Face-off coming. One back by the Marlies on the power play. Passing to Shaw in front. That one came. Stevens trying to get it out. Marlies keep it in. It's Shaw again. He stopped and it goes into the corner. Stevens. He'll clear. Marlies keep it in again. It's Letary. 3 seconds. Power play done. Nylander to Shaw. He stopped. Rebound to the net. They whack away. Shaw thrown it in front. It's still free. They score! Alex Nylander! The Marlies never gave up on the play, and they get rewarded. It's 4-2 late. The insurance marker. So the Marlies extend the lead by 2 late here in the third period. It's 4-2. 2:56 on the game clock. Syracuse running out of time. Draw one picked up by the Crunch. Here's Carlisle. Looks ahead, and the Crunch get it back in. Now they'll look to respond immediately. Element scores! They do! With 2 minutes to play, the Crunch get right back in it. It's 4-3. Huge goal for the Syracuse Crunch, and it's Sean Element who's just left wide open. He'll go to the backhand and beat Oktayamov. It's a one-goal game again. So moments after Toronto extended the lead and thought they put this away, the Crunch respond, and they're back in it late. Sent ahead, here's Day to Forte with Robert to the net. He's stopped by Oktayamov. They're going to look to pull the goalie soon. Element shoots, that deflects, and has to be careful. Oh, what a save! Loosen the paint, it wouldn't go. Empty net, it's off the post. Whoa, what a sequence there. Talk about the Alderfeldt save. What about this one by Oktayamov? He robs the Syracuse Crunch here late. Wide open net, sprawling across. He grabs it and keeps it a one-goal Toronto lead here in the dying seconds. Syracuse Crunch can't believe it, and then the Marlies hit the post on the empty net bid. It wouldn't go. Face off here right side. Crunch win it back. Here's Carlisle in front to Morella. Drops for a shot. It's stopped. Rebound. That's fed in front. Marlies bank it off the boards and out to center. Down to 13 seconds to play. Carlisle gave it away. Nylander feeds it in. He'll chase it down for Toronto. Took a man down. It doesn't matter. 3 seconds left. They'll outwait it here in Toronto. The Marlies stun the Crunch. 4-3 tonight from Coca-Cola Coliseum. An awesome game all night long. Back and forth these two teams went, but the Toronto Marlies find a way to get it done. 4-3, your final score from Coca-Cola Coliseum tonight. Sarnia Sting coming up now. We hope to see you there.